All right, mathematicians, welcome back. We are on 7-7. You're going to need to open to this in your journal page right now. I have two things for you to do. Open to journal page 235, 7-7, but you are also going to need your hardcover books, that student reference book, page 145. When you open it, you should see number lines like this. So, journal page 235, student reference book, page 145. Put me on pause until you have both of them side by side. Go. All right, if you are hearing me right now, you have both your hardcover and your journal open up side by side. We're going to use the fraction number line poster. So in our hardcovers, we're going to use a fraction number line poster to help you write fractions that are less than, equal to, and greater than 1/2. All right, it says fill in the table. And for each section, I want us to put at least 2, so I'm going to say 2 or more fractions. Okay, 2 or more fractions. That's what we need for this part in each box. So this says a fraction, so we don't know which one. Oh, that's not what I wanted. A fraction that is less than 1/2. So there's our less than sign for 1/2. Fractions that are equal to, and we know that another word for equal is equivalent, and fractions that are greater than 1/2. How are we going to figure that out? Well, we have to find at least 2 of them, so let's look at our student reference book page, which yours kind of looks like this. I added some lines in though, and if we zoom in really close, that's pretty close. We can lower it. There we go. Our number line here is 0. I put a line by 0, so all the ones on the left, they're all 0 because 0 over 1. If I have nothing over 1, that's 0. If I have nothing over 2, that's 0. If I have nothing over 3, that's 0. If I have nothing over 4, 0 over 4, they're all equal to 0. So this line means it's 0. Here's our first whole. 1 is a whole number. 1 over 1, that makes a whole. 2 over 2, 2 parts out of 2, that's a whole. So this whole line equals 1. Now, there's no fraction by this one, but here's a half. If we break into thirds, yep, we know we can't get a half. 2/4 equal to 1/2 equivalent. See this line? This is our half line. All of these numbers on the side equal a half, are equal to a half. They're equivalent. 2/4, 3/6, and so on. I don't know if we can scoot that up. And 4/8 is trying to peek in there. Okay, so right now our first thing is to find fractions less than 1/2. Well, if my number line goes from 0 to 1, 0 is my smaller number, and if I go this way, it gets bigger. So here's my half line. If I want things that are less than half, which side would I go? I wouldn't go towards my whole to get bigger. We're going to have to go smaller. So let's see. Any fractions in here are less than half because here's our half line. So go ahead and pick 2 of them. I'm just going to pick the first two I see. 1/3 and 1/4. That's going to be my fractions. So 1. Oh, goodness gracious. I don't know what just happened. Ignore that. 1/3. Oh, again. 1/3 and 1/4. Those are my fractions that are less than a half. Okay, now we need to find fractions that are equal to a half. Remember, 2 or more. So you could have more than 2 in here right now. That would be awesome. Oh, I gotta bring my picture back up. So fractions equivalent to a half. Oh, here we go. Here's my half line. I know my half is right here. So let's see. Oh, there's another one. 2/4. And let's see if I follow my fraction line. Oh, and 3/6 equal. So those are the 2 I'm going to put. You could have different ones as long as they're equal. Okay, so 2/4, 2/4, 2/4, and 3/6, 3/6. They're all equivalent or equal to a half. And last but not least, we need to find fractions greater than a half. So bigger than a half. How are we going to find that? Well, here's our half line. So everything to the right is getting bigger. What are some ones that I see? I could do whole, but I'm not going to. I'm going to say 3/4 and 4/6. Those are my fractions because they're all to the right of this half line. Here's half. So all the ones going this way, all the ones going this way are getting bigger. So I'm going to do 3/4 and 4/6. 3/4 and 4/6. Remember, if I'm writing this down, you're writing this down, or at least two other numbers. So if you don't have these written down right now, put me on pause, copy them down. Now it says choose two fractions that are less than 1/2. Well, we know these are equal to, so that wouldn't work. And we know these are greater than half, so that won't work. So we're going to have to choose our two that we did in here, two or more. So just choose two of them. So my fractions that are less than 1/2 is 1/3 and 1/4. Awesome. Copy that one down. Make sure you have something written down. Here's your chart again. Remember, equal means equal to. This sign means it is less than, and this sign means it is greater than. The rest of number 2 says, of these two fractions, so out of these two, 1/3 and 1/4, which one is closer to 0? How do you know? Let's pull up our number line again. First of all, here's 1/3 and here's 1/4. If this line is 0, which fraction is smaller and closer to 0? Which one is closer? Well, if I draw my line down, this one is definitely closer to the 0 line, so 1/4. And I'm going to write down 1/4. And please explain it right now. So if I were to write this, I'd say I traced the line and I reached 1/4 sooner. You could say something like that or anything in your own words. Now it says write a number sentence that compares your two fractions. Use the less than, greater than, or equal sign. Well, we're working with these two fractions, so I'm going to copy them down. Okay, I don't know what happened there. 1/3, 1/4. Oh, there we go again. Okay. Technology, people. We're working with it. Okay. So I have 1/3 and 1/4. Is it going to be less than, greater than, or equal to? I'll pull my chart up again. Well, 1/3 is getting larger and 1/4 is closer than 0. So 1/4 is my smaller number. So 1/3 is going to be greater than 1/4. Now it says choose two fractions that are greater than 1/2. Well, we know it's not going to be these because this is less than, and we know it can't be these two because that is equal to, so we're going to have to choose our two fractions that were greater than. So go ahead, do what we did for the greater than. So we're going to do 3/4 and 4/6, or using any number that you did. And I want you to try this on your own. See which one's closer to 1, which one's closer to 1. How do you know? Please explain your answer. Then write these in the number sentence. So you're going to write down your fractions you're comparing, and you're going to figure out what sign goes there. Is 3/4 greater than, less than, or equal to 4/6? All right. Put me on pause till you're done with that, and then when you are, I am going to meet you at the next journal page so you can turn it on over. Fill out 235 first, and then meet me at 236. Okay, go. All right, if you're back, you just completed 235. This page says use the information and pictures below to help you answer the question. Gail and Kieran, I'm going to say Kieran, remember if we're reading something and we don't know exactly how to pronounce the word, as long as you keep saying the same name and it works for the story, it's good to go. So Gail and Kieran fill container A with water. So here's A, they fill this one with water. They pour all of this water in container A into container B. Now container B is full. Then they pour water from container B into container C. Now container C is full. Gail says the liquid volume of container C is less than the liquid volume of container A. She says that container C holds the least water because it is wide and short, and container A holds more water because it's taller. Kieran says all three of the containers have about the same volume. Do you agree with Gail or Kieran? Explain your answer. So think about it. Gail thinks that this one holds less water, but Kieran's like, or less water than A because it's shorter and wider, and she thinks that this one's taller, so it holds more. But Kieran thinks they all hold about the same water. What do you think? If you're near someone, share your idea with them. Okay. Key words I'm going to point out to you, and we can underline because we know that strategy, is they pour all of the water from container A into container B. That means all of the water fit into B. And now container B is full. It's full. Then they pour all of the water from container B into container C. Now container C is full. It's true this one's taller, but it's also less wide than container C. And these are about the same height and the same length. So you can tell that these are about the same. And if I were to go ahead and lay this jar on its side, it would take up almost the same shape as this. So then my jar would be kind of over here like so, and it would look the same. So we're going to have to agree with Kieran on this one, and they can all hold about, so not exactly, but about the same volume. Remember, volume is the space the liquid takes up. All right, third grade, whew, that was a big lesson. Hope you were sticking with me. Okay, now I need you to start doing math boxes on page 237, and I won't have a video for that. You just try to do it on your own. Okay, great work. I am so proud of all of you. See ya.